Hello everyone, Pete here. Quite a varied update in this video. I was had a bit of a cock up on the paint for the Ranchero, but a success with the paint for the 49 Mercury. I was looking also at Douglas Models Garage videos, which is relating to 55 Chevy and the windscreen fit. So I actually picked this one up the other day, along with the Camaro parts that I showed yesterday, or in the last video, sorry, which was a load of engine bits and that, because this is missing an engine and rear axle. And there's also, what else is there? Oh yeah, and a little thing for trim at throttle power. So I'll start with the cock up on the paint on the Ranchero. I don't know if they're showing up at all, but down there I sprayed in the panel. I still got minor body work to do, so I used the time here to experiment. Down here I've sprayed in a panel, but I put a mask over it to get a striped effect. I don't know whether you can see it through there. It's over the black, so it's silver over black, but with a mesh mask, which was this piece of net curtain, and only the higher ribs of it have masked off. That wasn't actually the effect I was going for. What I wanted to do has only worked in a small area, which is by my thumb, and this panel there, I can get this in and hold it steady enough. It's got a sort of ribbed and included the verticals along there, but this patch here is the only area it's worked in, because the mesh hasn't. Back there further I've got more defined stripes than on the other side, but my mesh wasn't tight enough against the body because of the raised body lines, which is a bit of a bugger. So I've got to flat all this back off, but it was an experiment using mesh. I'm going to give it another go once I've got it all flattened down and know that I've got to get this hard pressed, because I think if I do it when it's tacky and lift it off, you know, literally press it by rubbing the finger over it and get the imprint of that mesh in there, I'll come up with that effect all over. And then where it's on the edges that will be chrome trim, I'll just flat that back to smooth. But give myself a bit more. This is coming on nice. I think there's not much wrong with the rest of the body, apart from there's a few little blemishes down there, and I've got to do some rescribing for the doors. It's not going to show up on black, is it? Along the bottom there's a couple of little divots and around there, which is why I brought that filler the other day, but I did give it a go and it came straight back out of there. So I think you'd have to make your divots worse to give the filler something more a key to. Like I said, I've got a bit of scribing to do. There's another little divot there that's not going to show up, or it might do. That needs a bit of filling and general sanding around this area. I can still see that it just needs a lot of flatting. Yeah, which is why I did the experiment at the time, because it all needs flatting yet before I can spray it the full colour. And there's a few bits of tidying up I want to do. That wasn't really the main focus of my topic for today. Over there in the corner, Tim, I got you a little thank you present. It's in this bag along with a couple of Ratfink stickers, and if you can give me your address in my email, which I'll leave below, I'll post it over to you in this box, which has got space for the import export stickers and all that they have on it. But thank you very, very much for your support over the last couple of years. I still haven't got round to having shop cards made, so every now and again I sort of pick someone who's done a lot of commenting and supporting and just give them a present. With the 49, I used some of the decals from there as a test experiment for the lacquer that I want to use over these scallops, and that has worked, which is a bonus after one deflation. I've had, I hope you can see that against there, no reaction whatsoever with, pulled it off, thank you very much, with the lacquer and those decals. That is just, I flatted off the lacquer, put on some decals with a little bit of decal doodad, and then I've lacquered over them this morning, couple of 3 hours ago, and there's no reaction at all there, so I'll safely go ahead with the scalloping and hope I can work out where they're meant to go on the on the 49 pickup, Mercury pickup, which is why this looks rather flat, Doug, is because I flatted it off to receive decals with 2,500 wet and dry, 2500, what do you call that, 2500. Over here it's 2,500. The 55 Chevy windscreen fit is not the word. It is atrocious. I took, this is the Coca-Cola kit, Doug, which over here is about £40. It's like $50 odd. It's a lot of money to have a windscreen that doesn't fit in the way this windscreen really doesn't fit. It's atrocious. I did compare it with the old 55 Bel Air that I got the other day. They're nothing in similar at all. I'll move my hand out of the way of the light. Bloody camera's the other side of the stand. As you can see here, part of the pillar gets in the way of the windscreen going back, windshield going back far enough to get into the corner there where it's not exactly the same shape anyway, and the beginning of the gap starts on that seam. And I've got, going across there, it expands to 1.5mm gap at the bottom of the windshield without having a reasonable fit up here. I sanded where the ejector point was, or really the injector point. When I cut it off with a scalpel and then gave it a light sanding across the top. The top corners seem to fit okay, but like I said, there is a bit in the pillar that's stopping this going back far enough. That's to get into that corner. It's better this side than it is the other, but you got the gap starting at the bottom of the windshield there, where my thumb's showing, and all the way across. It's quite atrocious. It's hard to get into focus. It's going to take quite a lot of building up of the lip. It seems as though where they've got the windscreen wipers has caused a problem with how they've made the mould, but this is quite, the bottom edge of this is short shot anyway. You can see there's I don't know whether you can see, but there's a lip at the bottom edge of this windshield here on this side, and that slowly disappears to hardly anything by the time it's here. This section there's hardly any lip, so that lower ridge there has lost about half a mil from there to there, which is lining up with all the windscreen wipers. I don't know whether this once had windscreen wipers moulded on to the windshield and that area has been cut out because they're now on there too. I hope you heard all that because I don't think you could see much of it, but you know, where the windscreen wiper gap is, it seems to line up as that's the main missing part. You end up with the windscreen going a long way back as well, from the back of the bonnet hood to a good seating of the windscreen. Quite a build up. I also dug out the bonnet and rear windscreen to have a look at the fit on those. They're not brilliant, but that one's quite easily sorted. And the bonnet has got a sort of funny sort of click, and it pops up a little bit. But there is some sort of funny interference there too, so all of it needs careful looking at. That's quite proud of the what do you call fenders panel by a feelable amount. You can feel the lip on there. And you just sort of, you hear that snapping? Something's it all needs looking at. That swings nicely through there, I tell you. Anyway, did I mention everything? Oh yeah, the lacquer I was using on the 49 is this Halford's clear lacquer. The paint underneath it, the ruby red, citron ruby red, was also a Halford's colour. And they seem to stick well to plastic. I don't have any problem spraying with them. They fan out nicely. So hopefully I'll get the scallops done on the 49 and then lacquered, and I've flattered down this Ranchero again. Right. Anyway, best wishes from jolly old England, and if you can contact me with the at my email address, I'll leave it in the description, Tim, and leave me your address, and I'll post that memento over to you. Bye for now.